Well, I have a kind of a funny story, but in high school, I was like, it's funny that you mentioned the whole type A person in the beginning because I'm kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'm a planner. And so this podcast is interesting to talk about because I've had to learn a lot about how to not hold my plans too tightly.
Right.
But so I had a girlfriend in high school that I wanted to ask out to homecoming.
Okay.
Or no, I think it was prom. So I had this whole like thing planned out of how I'm going to ask her and with candles and a sign and will you go to prom with me type thing. And it was going to be this whole thing. But what I didn't account for was the wind. So I had this huge like cardboard thing that said, will you go to prom with me written on it. And it was like, there was a ton of candles. You know those little candles that you just put on the table and they're like, yeah, I had them all glued on. And to spell out, will you go to prom with me?
Were they actual fire or were they just?
No, they were real. Yeah,
Okay,
they were real candles, which was the problem because it was
Gotcha.
super windy that day
Yeah.
and none of my candles stayed lit. And I was freaking out, like trying to get the lighter to go and like light all the candles, but there were way too many of them and it was so windy, none of them lit. So you couldn't even make out what it said, like what the sign said, because it was at night. So I was just outside of this girl's house.
Just with the board.
With the board that was like she couldn't even read, and I
that's
was like so
hilarious.
devastated. But that was just like one moment that just came to my mind right now as we're talking about like how I put so much thought into how I was going to ask her, and I was going into it with fully expecting it to be like great and go smoothly and work out perfectly, and then
No, and that's when things are often the hardest. Like if you know you're about to go through something tough, you know, you can prepare for it mentally and be ready, and there's a sense of expectation there. But if you expect something to work or to go smoothly and then it doesn't at all, like, you know, it's kind of like when we were driving up here. We're in LA right now. It's like a 3-hour drive when you're moving the whole time isn't that big of a problem. But when you're in traffic and stopping and going, it just feels like it's so much longer.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of similar feeling